All right, let's talk just a little bit about the tools of the trade. Now, most of you are familiar with this, and actually I'm here to tell you that across the entire country, most appraisers still use this tool and this tool. There's a lot of people doing the mobile measuring, and it's a great tool to have in your arsenal, but the majority of the people still use graph paper and a pen and a tape measure. And guys, it depends, and we say it depends a lot in this business, but in measuring houses, it really does depend on your market. You know, if you're measuring houses that are 1,200 square foot brick ranches all day, do you really need mobile measuring? Maybe not. If you're measuring homes with 1.5 stories and 2 stories where the upstairs looks like a maze and you've got open areas and all, then perhaps you want to try a different tool. In that case, those people may want to use a disto and an iPad. If you ever get used to using the iPad and you really start using the disto more and more and get used to that, whatever software you use, if you get used to using the iPad and the disto, it really can make your life easier, and it can save you time. And it's also good because you know what you've got while you're on site. You can go back and look at your sketch, rewalk the upper level, and make sure you've got everything correct while you're on site. Now, while a lot of people still use that, we also still have a lot of people that use this tool. There's nothing wrong with that, guys. There are a lot of people that carry the metal tape measure on their belt, you know, or wherever. But there's still, you'd be surprised how many people carry a flexible fiberglass tape, and this is their second choice. For me personally, I carry the disto, and I also carry a traditional tape measure. Now, another thing that people have been asking me with this traditional tape measure, all right, if you look at it, it's pretty simple. We know what it is, and it's got this little tool on it. And I'm surprised to see how many people have never taken the little tool off. And it actually does serve a good purpose. It just snaps out. You can take that, put your foot on it, stick it into the ground, and attach your tape measure to it. You know, sometimes it's a good tool to have, and you know, you don't need to carry a screwdriver or whatever to stick in the ground. This is already built into your tape measure. Now, another little feature that most tape measures have on them that people don't realize, let's say you're measuring a front porch and you want to hold the measurement that you have while you walk down the steps and come around the side. That's what that little lock is for right there. All you do is take and fold that, and then you can set this tape measure over the porch so the actual weight of the tape measure will hold it in place. You walk down the steps, come around the side, pick up your tape measure, put the lock back into place, and you're back on your way to measuring. You know, it's a simple thing, but it really can save you some time. Just make sure you know what you have in these little tools. And you know, there's lots of different choices. Some of them have big hooks on them. This particular one is pretty heavy. I can also buy refills for it, which is kind of nice because they do stretch. You know, and after a while, just depending on how many houses you measure, of course, but you do need to update your tape measure. And it's like a lot of these, you know, are 15, 16 bucks, and you know, up to $40 and $50. It just kind of depends on what you want. And that's another thing with the measuring devices. Now, this particular one is the Disto D2. It's towards the bottom of the line. I think I paid 200 bucks for this. Glad to have it. It's a great tool. You can also go to the local hardware store. They've got a lot of laser measuring devices, and the quality's gotten a lot better, guys. These things are really good, especially doing inside measurements. Like when you're upstairs, they work perfect. The red dot is not a problem. If you're doing a lot outside, you need a brighter red dot. you may want to go with a more expensive disto. Also, if you're going to do the mobile measuring, you want to get the one with the Bluetooth, that you connect to your iPad, and you want to spend a little more money, but you're saving time, so it's a good investment. But there are lots of different tools that we can use. It really depends on your market and your personal preference. Once you get a little more years on you, if you've been doing it for 20 years with a graph paper and a traditional tape measure, a lot of people don't want to change, and that's perfectly fine. You use what works the best for you.